What's going on, guys? Marcus here with the Reformation Woodshop, and in today's video it is time to empty out your wallets again because I have 5 more woodworking tools that you need to be purchasing from Harbor Freight. To make this video possible, I've spent my time and money finding and reviewing tools that I think are worth your time if you have a woodworking shop like this. On this channel we are a big fan of cheap, but we want to make sure that everything we buy has the best quality for exactly what we need it for. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, before we get this started, I've made tons of these videos. I'd appreciate if you subscribed, if you like them. If you watch these videos, or this is your first time watching, if you appreciate the content, please subscribe because it helps me out. It makes me feel good on the inside. When I go to bed at night, I lay my head down and I think to myself, at least I have subscribers. Item number 1 is an item that I haven't been able to find in store until now, and that is the US General Mini Toolbox. If you followed this channel for any time, you know that I'm a fan of the mini toolboxes, as I have 4 of the Cobalts. Alright, so I'm going to level with you. This mini toolbox is not going to hold your drill or a hammer or anything like that, but it is cute. I'm not trying to insinuate that these guys are useless, but there is a certain amount of cuteness that is the draw to why you would buy them. What's different about the US General as opposed to the Cobalt is that these come with a little tray liner, which is kind of nice, makes you feel like an actual mechanic's toolbox. They have almost identical dimensions, except I think the drawers come out a little bit less on the US General than the Cobalt, which is not my favorite, but you can get this guy for 18 bucks, whereas you can get that guy for 20. So you give me the opportunity to save $2, I'm gonna take it. These mini toolboxes are perfect for things like stacking up all of your pencils and pins. I keep my rotary tool and all of my laser supplies in one on the workbench over there. And honestly, you can just toss all your random bits, parts and pieces, nuts and bolts, whatever it is you want at your fingertips at all times, you can put it in one of these guys. These are fun. All I saw at my local store was red and blue, but they have a lot of various colors. Alright, for item number 2, I kind of need to swallow my pride here a little bit because I said I would never recommend router bits, but here we are. This is the Hercules 3/4 inch core box router bit, and this guy was $10. The reason that I bought it was because I needed to do a juice groove in a cutting board, and I didn't have one big enough to do the size that I needed. And so instead of buying a really expensive one, I went to check Harbor Freight. They had it for 10 bucks, and I thought to myself, if it does this one cutting board this one time, that will be money well spent. In other words, if I threw this in the trash right now, I would not have lost any money at all. I just ran the bit through some plywood to get my preliminary test cuts going, just to make sure the depth was right for this cutting board, and it looks pretty clean. If you're unfamiliar with what a juice groove is, all I did was put this bit in my router, build a jig all around the cutting board that I made, and carved out a groove all around the outside of this board. Alright, so here is the before sanding perspective. This is a very fine, clean cut with the router bit. I'm going to give you the after now. I'm not recommending every single Hercules bit that exists at Harbor Freight, but I am recommending the 3/4 inch core box bit because it works perfectly. Item number 3 is probably something that I should have mentioned several videos ago because they have them on sale at all times, and you probably need to have more than one because they're super useful in the wood shop, and that is buckets, man. You can get a bucket at Harbor Freight for $4.99, but these are on sale all the time, like almost all the time, forever. They want them out the store all the time. I get this comment sometimes and people say, how is that useful for woodworking? And most of the time, I'm very specific about how the item is useful for woodworking, but in case you didn't know, they're great dust collectors. You can put a dust deputy, dust stopper, or even the new Bauer system from Harbor Freight on top of these guys, and they will catch your dust and separate your large particles from your small particles and make it so that it's easier to clean out your dust collection. On top of that, I use buckets to catch scrap wood when I'm cutting up the bandsaw, and most guys I know don't even have tool bags. They just throw their tools into a bucket and head out to a job to get some work done because that's the manly way. So buckets are a woodworking tool. Don't come at me in the comments section, alright? Item numero 4 is this Quinn 52 inch cutting edge guide. Harbor Freight actually has a bunch of these at a bunch of different measurements, and I think they're extremely useful if you want to get away from using just a 2x4 and some clamps on your project pieces. This cutting edge guide can lock down to your workpiece with 20 pounds of force, so it's not going to move if you bump your circular saw up next to it. And it's got a low profile edge, which means the motor of your circular saw can ride over it without bumping. You can cut or mark materials from 50 inches all the way up to 100 inches long. The handle's easy to grip and easy to use, and it's made from heavy duty extruded aluminum for rigidity. This edge guide is $39.99, and you can get a Bora just like it for 99 bucks. And they also have their Pittsburgh ones that are a little bit lower in quality, but they're only $11. There are tons of companies that make edge guides like this guy, but none come close to the price tag of the Harbor Freight one. What's really nice about a cutting edge guide like this is that it is pretty seamless. You can hang it up on the wall and forget about it until you absolutely positively need it. It can be like any of your other jigs that you toss on the wall and use them when you need them. Finally, a tool that I have been waiting for several months to get my hands on is the Hercules 12-gallon dust extractor. So what makes this fancy little shop vac worth that extra time and money? Well, it's not a shop vac, don't say that, all right? This is a tool-activated dust extractor. It has a receptacle on board so that you can plug your sander, circular saw, jigsaw, whatever power tool you're using. And once you turn that sander on, the dust extractor will kick on and start picking up dust. You people in the comments section are always complaining when I don't use dust collection. Most of the time I'm sanding outside, so I don't really care. But if you have a high-end sander like the 3M, the Merca, the Festool, they're made to be more efficient with dust collection, so you need one of these guys. You need an extractor that turns on when you turn the sander on. Let's do a little before and after sanding. We use the 80 grit sandpaper, that way we can really scuff up this wood. Alright, so for the before, you got this. Lots of debris, especially with the powerful sander. With a low grit sandpaper, you can make so much sawdust. And now, here's the after. This vacuum is a 12-gallon OSHA compliant dust extractor, and it uses dual self-cleaning HEPA filters that capture 99.97% of particulates 0.3 microns or larger. It has a 24-foot power cord, so you can use this guy anywhere in a 500 square foot shop. It's got a 17-foot anti-static hose, which sometimes less is more. This is a lot of hose to deal with. It's got 360 casters on the front, and it's got those big beefy wheels on the back so you can roll it out like a toolbox anywhere you go. This extractor is the first time in a long time I've been really excited about something from Harbor Freight. This vacuum is $350, and for something like the Festool extractor, you're gonna pay $500 for that. My plan is to do a solo dedicated video showing you guys all of the fun and features that this guy has to offer, so look out for that. And also, I think I'm gonna do a Hercules versus Festool extractor head-to-head video, so also look out for that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope I showed you some things that you didn't know Harbor Freight had to offer. Be careful, try not to spend too much money, and I'll see you in the next one. If you watched this video and thought to yourself, man, that was so good, how can I give this guy money to repay him? Then you're in luck. I have a lot of stuff listed on my Etsy store that you can buy to support the channel, so head on over to reformationwoodshop.etsy.com to grab something.